Hello and welcome to the show. Today is all about health and your well-being with my guest biology teacher and health and well-being coach Jason Tate, who has recently won a Desert Health Wellness Award. We then look to the Desert Health News as I catch up with founder and publisher Lauren Sarto. We talk about her life in health and her exclusive health publication here in the Coachella Valley. And then all the way from Colorado, I'm joined by Dr. Lisa Amerine, who is the president of the American Institute of Homeopathy and also a naturopathic doctor. She talks to us about homeopathy and how it can benefit your health. She will also share with us the background story about a wonderful poem that she's recently written. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the show today. So I'd like to welcome my very first guest, Jason Tate. So Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you so much. Lovely to be here and lovely to be in the Coachella Valley.
Likewise.
Very nice. This is much nicer than what it is in the UK at the moment. So lovely to have you. Listen, you're a teacher here at the school and you're also a health and wellbeing coach.
I am.
So tell us how you got into that, Jason. What kind of inspired you to become a health and wellbeing coach?
Well, it actually goes back to being that teacher and just kind of connecting with the students and finding that they needed more than just learning about biology. They need to learn about life and nutrition and health and how to take care of their bodies and their families.
It's really important, actually, isn't it?
Is,
you know,
yeah.
I think especially nowadays because junk food is readily available. You know, when you go down to a supermarket aisle, it's ready meals, ready meals.
Yeah.
It's what it certainly is in the UK. I'm sure it's the same in America.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's very tempting, isn't it, just to grab that meal and just go home and not worry about what's in it or you know what nutrients you've got. So it's great that you're doing it for the kids as well.
Yeah, and that you mentioned that, you know, not knowing, you know, the nutrients and. You know, it's almost as if it's designed that way for us to not know.
Yes, almost like
you
it's
know?
hidden.
Right,
yeah. That's right, yeah.
So I lift the veil and teach the students about their food and where it comes from and how to cook and, you know, all of that.
Fantastic. Now, you've been very successful because this lovely X that I've got on my table, tell us about that, if anybody doesn't know what that is.
This was a little door prize from doing a TEDx talk.
Lovely.
It was in a suburb of Chicago in Naperville. And it was a funny story. I show up, and we're an hour before I go on stage, and I had pre-filmed. We had all pre-filmed. It was COVID.
Oh, COVID time. Okay,
right.
yeah.
And so I pointed to this big screen. I said, is that where you're going to show the video that I pre-filmed? And they said, what video?
Oh,
and
no.
we all just kind of, you know,
Panic.
Wait a minute, you don't have it? And so he said, no, everyone's doing live talks. Can you just wing it? And I said, no, I'm not going to wing it.
To millions of people that
millions,
watch.
yeah,
watch
right.
the TED
This isn't going to happen.
Did your heart pound very
A
heavily?
little bit,
Yes,
a little
right,
bit.
yeah.
So they found the video, and I said, here's what. I'll come on stage. I'll introduce it as if the video was always part of it, that I knew all along. And I'll introduce the video, and then I'll talk after it plays. And so it went brilliantly.
And it went very well, yeah. Welcome back to the show. My next guest is Lauren Sarto, who is the founder and publisher of the lovely Desert Health, which we have here on the table. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much, Lauren, for joining me. What a and hot off the press, this one.
March edition.
Running here, that's it. Oh, it's lovely to meet you. Now, it's just been an incredible journey for you here in the desert, hasn't it, with your publication?
It really has.
Tell me about how, because your background is in marketing and project managing, so how did you go from that to this?
Well, believe it or not, this is an out of retirement.
Yeah.
I failed at retirement, 8 months. We moved down here to retire, and I really been a workaholic my whole life and really wanted to focus on my own health. And in doing that, I realized how large the natural health community here is in the Coachella Valley. And I started exploring, and the medical community here is also quite large. And I thought, you know, there should be a medium that promotes where the two are starting to work together. Because I saw that and I thought that was fascinating and unique.
And is this the only publication? I mean, I know it's exclusive, but is it the only health kind of publication here in the desert?
Yes, it is. The hospitals do put out things, but this is the only independently owned and that has both natural health and medical news
and it's
in the same
full,
publication.
I was just about to say that. It's full of natural and medical. So it's not like you're kind of embracing everything, which is what complementary medicine is all about, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's not, we're not saying don't use conventional medicine.
Exactly.
What we're saying is there's other things to use as well as. Welcome back to the show. I'm now joined by Dr. Lisa Amerine, who is the president of the American Institute of Homeopathy, and she's also a naturopathic doctor. So welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank
you
you
so much. It's all about health today,
It's
isn't
all
it? And
about
it's
health. I love it.
fascinating. But let's talk homeopathy.
Of course.
Now, go right the way back, Lisa. How did you start, and how did you get into homeopathy?
So I've loved homeopathy since I was a child.
Wow.
My family I was raised with homeopathy, and by the time I was 10 years old, I knew 4 remedies. I knew arnica, hypericum, ledum, and calendula. And if you needed one of those 4 remedies, I was in your face giving it to you whether you wanted it or not.
Now, how would you describe homeopathy to someone who doesn't even know what that is?
Oh, I love that. Okay, so homeopathy is a really specific application of natural medicines. The whole concept of homeopathy is a medicine that you would receive if a healthy person was to take more of it or to overdose. The right term is proving, but we know the word overdose.
Yes.
To take a lot of it, it would create similar symptoms that a person who's sick is creating all by themselves. So if you give a medicine that would cause the same symptoms that you're already producing by yourself, there's a physics law, the law of similars, that 2 similar things can't exist in the same space. So if I give you a medicine that would stimulate or that would cause the same thing that your body's already producing by itself, that physics law goes into place. 2 similar things cannot exist in the same space, and so it's going to stimulate the body to heal. It's much like a magnet. What happens when you put a positive and a negative piece of a magnet together? They stick, right? What happens when you put 2 positive parts of a magnet together? They repel. They can't stay no matter how hard you try. It's a law of nature. You can't make that happen. So if you do that with medicine and you give a medicine that would cause the similar symptoms that your body already is producing, then what happens is that physics law goes into place. 2 similar things cannot exist in the same space, and it's going to stimulate your body to heal.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
That
is
is
it.
homeopathy. That's homeopathy right there.
Stop right there. That's it.